Your universe is not alone. It is but one of infinite worlds, each an altered version of the others. From the beginning of time, they have existed apart. This is the day they collide.
So we're catching up on Infinite Crisis here at E3 with Cardell. Can you tell us what kind of new stuff are you revealing here at E3, and what is it that people can sample here behind us?
Well, right now, what we're seeing behind us is the actual unveiling of some of the new dynamics we've added for our Gotham Heights map. Additionally, we've already announced, and this is one of those trailers that you'll be able to see online currently, our Coast City map, which itself is going to be taking all the lessons we learned from Gotham Heights and really just expanding on them and bringing them to a whole new area of the DC universe.
What does that add to sort of the MOBA formula, sort of switching up this new map? What does it add to it?
So for us particularly, our goals have been always to double down on our destructive PvP system. So one of the things you kind of see in Gotham Heights is you will see a lot of vehicles and a lot of explosions, a lot of catastrophic events. What would be cooler than that, from my point of view, is not just having a catastrophic event happen, but having the players themselves wield one as a weapon and use it against the other team. So really that's the epicenter of what makes Coast City such a very distinct map, is that you will be fighting over something called the Doomsday Device. And each time you use it, it does horrible things to both your opponents and the map itself.
It sounds like a fairly dynamic experience then, and perhaps one where things can sort of switch quite quickly between who has the upper hand.
Yes, I mean, really what we want to make sure is that we double down on the tactical aspects of what makes these games fun. So there'll be a lot of situations where you're fighting for just zone control over the power relays that will be in the Coast City map, where if you take them, it makes your minions tougher and basically lets you push different lanes. However, if you lose them, that's also bad for you as well. So we want to make sure there's a lot of good push and pull. We don't want it to have a bunch of just snowballing mechanics. We want to be able to make sure that each team, you win and lose based off the battles and your ability to execute on those strategies.
So the game was first announced around GDC time, and I played a little bit back then. What's happened since then in these coming months? You've let more players in. What's the experience been like?
Well, basically we've been spending all this time trying to find a way to tighten down the chip. So when we actually launched, we had a great launch, and we had a lot of people who really just came in like right guns blazing, wanting to play Green Lantern and Batman and Nightmare Batman and all the different other types of characters and heroes we offer. Since then, we've brought some more heroes online. Like we just announced Cyborg. He should be playable, I think, as of today. And the next character that's coming out is not going to be a surprise to anyone, but I don't want to spoil it. But regardless, a lot of other things have changed in the sense that we've spent more time focusing on just our feedback, trying to add more new mechanics to Gotham Heights itself, which you'll see actually on display today, and really just making things more responsive, making things a little just all around tighter.
So I guess as a company, you're kind of used to working under these conditions of sort of constantly changing the game, evolving with feedback. But what's the experience been like with this project? And because it's obviously been from the start, this has been the idea.
It's just fundamentally different. As my history is, I was the creative director on Lord of the Rings as well, and working on an online game certainly prepares you for a very vibrant community, a very opinionated community, and I can tell you, this game has plenty of opinions. so in that sense, it's very similar to what you normally expect. I think one of the biggest changes from my point of view has been how much focus we've had to deliver on just one specific piece of content. Like these maps, these areas, they're really living, breathing locations, and we want to make sure that Gotham feels like Gotham, but at the same time, we want to make sure that the map itself has enough personality that not only do you kind of know where you're fighting, but you also have a very good understanding of all the different things you could fight for.
I guess it's reiteration in sort of on a level that's sort of unprecedented in any other genre, really.
Yes, and that's exactly the case. I mean, the good news is that the MOBA space is it's live and very thriving. I mean, there's a bunch of different options out there. I feel like as a gamer, I have so many options that are available to me that it's ludicrous. So in that sense, it's very, very good. And I think that having the ecosystem be the way it is and having the ability to kind of go from game to game just helps everyone involved.
So you touched a little bit on the roadmap ahead. What's sort of the rollout? What plans are there ahead in the next few coming months?
Sure. So basically, in our upcoming months, we're going to actually release Coast City to the public, and the goal there will be to kind of see what people do with it. Because I'm really excited for it because it's a unique map. No one's ever done anything like it before, and I just don't know what people's metas are going to be. We've seen all sorts of crazy stuff in the office. I've seen like double jungles. I've seen no jungles at all, and like 3 in 1 lane to kind of push and take an early turret quick. I've seen people take the Doomsday Device. I've seen people deliberately not take the Doomsday Device. I've seen people try to take the Doomsday Device, fail, have the person steal it from them. Like, it's all over the board. So look, I'm really looking forward to that. And what we're going to do is we're going to take all that information and use that to inform our next map, our next tri-lane map, which is we're currently playing, but there are a lot of things there that are building off of Coast City's lessons. So that will be our final achievement, I think, in terms of maps, in terms of that.
Thank you very much for your time.
Yes, no problem at all. Thank you.